Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Brakatahawa, 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 the water above, called Kadash. I'd like to give double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone that teaches truth, which we know is 100% truth, the true word of our Lord.
I can see how much
do a lesson a day.
wearing on you.
It is.
It's going to be on the.
I'm not eating, and if I don't stop this, I'm gonna wind up in the hospital. This is what we used last night to catch that other one. We had to put the weights on him, the hammer.
Cora Robinson, armed with a piece of plywood, spends her days trying to defend her home against rats.
I thought it would keep them from running around the baseboard, right? But now what they doing is they just come, they so big, they jumping over it.
They certainly don't look small. Miss Robinson took these photos of at least 2 rats rummaging around her kitchen Friday night. Any hope of hosting for Easter went right out the window.
I'm tired of cleaning poop off the stove. You know, I mean, it's terrible. If you turn the oven on, you can
fair
see
use,
it
fair
smells
use.
like that.
Only
Miss
for
Robinson
educational
took this
purposes,
video
not for
of one of
monetary
the
gain.
rodents sitting on her countertop in the fall. She says she's been dealing with this infestation for almost a year now. I can see how much this is wearing on you.
It is. I can't sleep. I'm not eating. And if I don't stop this, I'm going to wind up in the hospital. I almost wound up there yesterday.
The breast cancer survivor already deals with health issues and is worried about what she and her small dog are being exposed to.
Her food and her bed and water are in my bedroom. I can't leave it out here because they'll get into it. I'm sorry. I'm just done. I'm just so disgusted.
She's filed complaints with the city's Department of Housing Preservation and Development, which, according to documents, has cited the landlord in the past. Hi, who am I speaking to?
Eve is catching hell, man, up on the Esau system that she subscribed to. You know, Eve will ride Esau down into the gallows of the burning flames, man, before she will ride with her men of Israel, man. And I'm thinking this is probably in New York City, and you know, it's probably the small headers that's probably running that tenant. That building she's staying in is probably who her landlords are, and you know they, they pretty much do, they have free reign to rent however they want to rent. You know, they're definitely known for being slumlords. But Eve is catching hell because she chose to side with Esau Edom, man. Like I say, we had our own communities and all those things back in the early 1930s and back in those times, man. Jake was building strong, beautiful black communities, man, and so-called black communities. And Eve wants to live like the white man, be with the white man, work his jobs, live in his communities. And how we know that? Because, like I say, they offered the welfare program. Eve was the first one that jumped on it, man. She jumped on it and led right into that trap. Now you find Eve, these women that don't need a man, and once they get into the older years, they don't have that man there to help them in these time of needs, you know. And a lot of it goes back to the plagues, man. You know, to the curses that are placed on our people. But you can look at this woman and tell that she was probably a proud woman back in her day, and she don't need a man. She kind of had that manly appearance about her. And when like, where's the kids? She probably didn't have kids, you know, or if she did, she probably ran them off. It's just what I'm gathering from the spirit, man, from this. But it's going to be a lot of our women, man. This is a lot of our women condition at the end, man. I've been to some places because I was buying property, and I've seen where they had elder Eves, man, staying with the kids, and they got to provide for their mother. They got like a room to keep their mother in, you know. And you meet the mother, and she's there. This masculine type of women, you know. They're up in the age now, but you can see that masculine spirit on them, and therefore they have to rely on the system or their kids to help them. And it was like a silent attack, very crafty, well thought out plan as as Esau patiently waited to put into motion the destruction of the black family by using Eve, you so-called nigger woman, man, by convincing the black woman that she could do it alone without her Israelite man. All he did was sit back and wait. After he took away the jobs, added drugs, guns, controlled the media, and just allowed things to play out. You know, the kids that she raised, you know, a lot of her kids now are ending up in prison houses or on drugs or repeating the same thing over and over again. Getting young, getting pregnant, you know, relying on the system. And you can't tell, I guarantee this woman is a diehard Democrat, man. Whether she's Democrat or Republican, we know that the system is against you Jakes, man. But she will ride that system to her very end, thinking that the Democrats are going to save her. And you see a lot of ease on the comment boards now talking about, well, what if we had got Kamala Harris in office? You know, we wouldn't be going through what we're going through. You niggas just don't get it, man. You still think and believe in Egypt is going to be your salvation. You do anything but turn towards your Lord, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And these nigger preachers in these nigger houses called church houses, man, they're not there to save you. They're there to keep you believing in a system that's not there for you, man. They're there to join you to the so-called Democrat Party or you know, these Democrat parties, man. And all that is just nothing but imagery, man, to give you false hope, thinking that this system is going to save you, instead of really turning you to your true power, man. That's telling you who you are. These nigger churches, man, these that run these church houses, they're not going to tell you who you are. They're not going to tell you that you have a higher power, that you are the children of the Most High, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, that you're the Lord's jewels. They're not going to tell you that because they're paid by the system to keep you niggas asleep, man. To keep you remaining as being niggas. That's what they want you to continue to be niggas. They don't want you to wake up out of your sleep. They want to keep you asleep while they continue to reap the spoils of war, what they do, you know, wherever they go, man. The plan of the warfare was the destruction of the black family by going after the black women with a few partial gifts like welfare, Section 8, TANF, free Medicaid, government jobs, EBT, food stamps, all these little gifts, man, would have helped you to destroy your nation. And now you see a lot of you nigger women that gave in where you ended up at, man, because you had opportunity to have a man in your life and you chose not to. You chose that you didn't need it. You're going to rely on the system. And I'm guaranteed she's probably on some type of public assistance, living in public housing, and therefore she's reaping rewards from it, man. They don't give a damn about you. And now they got her in a rat race thinking that she can go take these landlords to courts where they all tied in together, man. She's just in a losing race because she chose evil, man. She chose wickedness. You hear a lot of Jakes say, well, I chose the lesser two evils. You don't choose evil at all, man. You choose Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. There's no excuse for that. You shouldn't be out there even voting for neither party, man. Both of them are tied to the same bird of wickedness. First Timothy chapter 2, verse 14. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression. First Peter chapter 3, verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor to the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life. So we're supposed to be together, man. You women, we're not supposed to turn on your men. You know, you are the weaker vessel. You're supposed to be handed over from your father unto your husband. But yet you try to go it alone, believing in Esau, Edom, listening to the serpent. And now you see the predicament a lot of our women in. A lot of them sleeping in cars. Now you see videos where they try to make life like living in the car like, it's not that bad, you see a lot of them what they call van living, where they got a van, they get it converted so they can live inside of a damn van, man. This is not how you supposed to be living, man. That's not how the Lord intended for you to be. You're supposed to be a helpmeet to your man, you know. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 14. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression. Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, had made, and said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, and ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. It's not literally talking about eating of the fruit of the garden. It's really talking about following the philosophies of these other nations. And that serpent is representative of Esau, Edom, man. And that's why a lot of these women now, kids won't even deal with them. The ones that do, it's not a pretty sight. Job chapter 39, verse 16. She is hardened against her young ones as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear. Job chapter 39, verse 17. Because God, Yahweh, hath despised her wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. So she don't have these things to go by. That's why she's supposed to have a head over her, a hedge of protection. Her man's supposed to be her protection, man. Because she was lacking wisdom in those things, that's why the serpent went after her first instead of going to Adam and could try to convince Adam. He convinced the woman, which eventually convinced the man. Psalms chapter 83, verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. So behind the scenes, man, they knew what they was doing when they were giving the women this independence, this power, and these things to do all these things on her own without having a hedge of protection to guide her. Therefore, she signed these treaties with Esau, Edom, willing to go and sign a contract to live in public housing and rely on Esau to feed and raise her children, man. Psalms 83, verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. They are confederate against our nation, man. Eve is conjoined to Esau, Edom, man. Eve rides with Esau, Edom. And they're like conjoined together. She's going to ride with him all the way to the end, man. Majority of the 2/3 is going to be destroyed here in Babylon the Great. Is going to be a lot of our women, man. Majority of that's going to be destroyed is going to be you so-called nigger women, because you choose to rely and put your faith in this system in Esau, Edom. The Lord is trying to warn you, tell you to repent, fall back under your men, man. And a lot of them too proud, man. They're not going to do that. They're definitely not going to fall back under a Jake, man. And especially like I said, the so-called Southern Kingdom woman, man. She's really been in delusion being up under Esau, Edom. Therefore, she's going to have to be destroyed. Like I said, we're not talking about all, but the few women that are in this truth, and we like to say it's a very few that are in this truth that are willing to fall back and play her position that the Lord has given her to do. Just sit in the background quietly, being a support role unto the men of Israel. You're not supposed to be out here trying to lead the charge, trying to teach, trying to tell an Israelite man what to do. That's not your position, man. That's not what the Lord has built you and put you here for to do. A lot of these so-called black leaders are in they're in consolidation with Esau Edom, man. They know this plan and this agenda, and they agreed along with it, man. So they can get paid. You know, it's all part of that Boule society where they being like a buffer zone, you know, to keep you Jakes, you know, calm down under pressure and still believe it and convince you to believe in a system that's not designed for you. You are still spoils of war, man. This system does not look at you as being a citizen of it. It look at you as being a spoil of war. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes. But if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 17. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, as though he pretended to help thee, he shall undermine thee. And like you see, that nigger woman, man, Eve, is right now suffering because now she's been undermined. Now she has nothing to fall back on. No community, no man, no kids. She's just suffering. She's in a living hell right now with rats running all over. Got her locked in her bedroom. She's got to walk around the house with a 2x4 to fight off the rats. And you can imagine with the roaches and all these other things, man. Verse 18, he will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. So it's coming to a point now, they talking about just taking them off all type of assistance and just leaving them out to dry. And they already got the men that turned against them. And men's like, fuck no, we're not dealing with you no more. We knew, you know, you have turned your back on us. You threw us out, you know, out of the house, you know, you side of Esau Edom, you put us on child support, put us on alimony, you took our homes and all these other things, man. So the men was like, fuck it, we wiping our hands clean. We moving on. We moving on to the women of these other nations. And so Esau Edom now said, okay, we done with you. You done destroyed several generations of your people. So now we're going to pretty much take you off these type of assistance, man. You can find a lot of Eve out there locked out in the streets, man. By 1960, the black marriage rate had declined by remaining close to the white marriage rate. I'm sorry, not declined, but remained. By 1960, the black marriage rate had declined, but remained close to the white marriage rate. In other words, despite open racism and widespread poverty, strong black families used to be the norm. But by the mid 1980s, black fatherlessness has skyrocketed. Today, only 44% of black children have a father in the home. In October 7th, 2019. So here we are in 2026. So I'm quite sure the numbers really dropped since then. The book of Psalms, chapter 64, verse 5. And what was the significance of back in the 1960s? That's when they implemented these welfare laws, man, where they allowed Jake to get these so-called welfare assistance. But the fine print of that, well, it wasn't even fine print. They say you can get this house, but you can't have a black man. You can't have a man living in the house with you. And this was more enforced on you black communities. This wasn't enforced on those black communities, I guarantee. But on you Jakes, man, in your project communities. Because I remember back in the days, man, going in these projects, man, you would see these social workers come through, man, with their clipboards and, you know, taking notes, walking through the apartment, checking the closet, looking up under the cabinets, seeing if they find any type of man items of a grown man living in the house. So therefore they can terminate your assistance. So you had to make sure you didn't have a man in the house helping you raise those kids. And any items that were bought, like a TV or any big name items that were bought in the house, you had to have accountability where that money came from. How were you able to buy this TV? It was that intrusive, man, and that demeaning. You know, you could imagine somebody just going through your personal items, man. And it's almost like a pretty much shakedown being in a damn prison, man. Anybody ever worked in the prison system or been in the prison system, you know when the guards come through It's not about just really going and looking for contraband items of that. It's a sense of show of control. And by them being able to go through these houses, man, these housing projects, and have that type of control over you, you just got to pretty much open everything up to them to receive their assistance. It's just it's demeaning. Imagine what it does to the kids. And you got this white woman that you don't even know that's going through your shit, talking down on you because they have the power over you. Right now, hey, they look now here, it's 2026. From the 1960s, they pretty much say, well, mission is accomplished. We done destroyed many generations of so-called black families, man. And when you destroy the family, the community, therefore you destroy the nation. But there's, like I said, this truth is going out and it's waking up the Israelites, the elect. That's why there's going to be a separation. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 18, the proud woman. Now that woman in that video, is nothing about her look proud, does it? She done lost all her pride. She's broken down. No, I take it back though. Eve still pride. She hold that pride though. She still had that proud, stern look about her. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Better is to be of a humble spirit with a lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 16. Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks, and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore the Lord Yahweh will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. You see a lot of women, they losing their edges. Their hairline starts way back here, so therefore they have to put these weaves and all these other things on, man. It's part of the curses. It lets you know it's a significant marker of who we are. The Lord is telling our people, I'm showing you who you are. Now I'm telling you to come up out of that place, man. It's not a physical separation. It's a spiritual separation. It's a mental separation. Micah chapter 7, verse 10. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy God? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down by the mire in the streets. This woman is being trodden down by those damn rodents, man, running through her apartment, man, eating up all her goods, She got to lock the damn dog food in her room and protect it with a 2x4. That's a living hell, man. But imagine her probably 30 years ago, how proud she was, Maybe she might have had a job, might have been a bit independent, not needing a man, probably looked a lot better than what she is now. But you can imagine, man, that proud spirit she probably had. You probably could have told her shit back about 20, 30 years ago. And now look at her. And you still paired her up with a man, she's probably still thinking that she's better than that man. She's not going to pair bond with any man. I got aunties like that, man. They won't do it. Yeah, they rather suffer in silence alone than to have a man be over them, relying on their kids in order to be able to help them. Isaiah, we're going to finish off Isaiah chapter 26, verse 21. For behold, the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh shall coming out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. So Eve is tied to the hip of Esau Edom, man. She's going to go down burning, in this society, man, when the Lord comes back to bring justice, man. When he comes back to destroy this place. The only thing that she has over Esau Edom, though, she gets to come back in shame, through the loins of the elect, man, for the shame that she's done, committed in this society by not listening to her men. It's supposed to be a hedge over her, which was supposed to lead her to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh. So Lord will, man, is less edifying with that. Say shalom.